The American Academy of Pediatrics is recommending that all preteens and teenagers get regular screenings for drugs and also STDs. And this is an interesting, I guess, recommendation. And I don't know if they're actually going to pass any legislation or even push any legislation, but it's just a recommendation. I think it'd be a good idea to regularly screen these teenagers. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of split on it because I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing to regularly test teenagers for STDs and maybe drugs, but STDs, I definitely think maybe it's a good idea just to make sure they're healthy and they're being safe and they're properly educated about safe sex and that kind of stuff. But
yeah, you know, if it's my kids and they say, hey, we're going to find out, especially if it's for free, whether they've got AIDS or other diseases, I mean, I want to know because I'd want to help them as soon as possible, right? And I hope that that information obviously doesn't leak because, you know, when we were in high school, there were all those rumors. Like, oh, you know, Lisa has, you know.
Herpes.
Everybody. Oh, she's got the clap, or whatever they were, right?
There was a girl in my high school that everyone would make those rumors about.
Right.
But I think it was true.
But 9 out of 10 times it's totally baseless, based on like, oh, her name rhymes with something, so hence she must have cooties. Whatever. Anyway, but the testing them for drugs, I'm opposed to that.
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm most split on, right? Because the STD thing, in my eyes, makes sense because you can immediately, well, not in all cases, but you can remedy the situation and help the student or whatever. But with drugs, I feel like you're just trying to like keep a close eye on them and pry into their personal lives and figure out whether or not they're doing drugs or any experimentation. Most teenagers do experimentation.
Yeah.
Some dabble more than others, but the best thing that you can do is educate them prior to getting to the point where you feel like you need to drug test them.
So if I'm a teenager, of course my instinct is butt out, right? Like, I don't want you testing me, okay? If I'm a parent, my instinct is, oh, I don't want you to test them for pot, and then like then you put it on the record, and it's a mess. It's a mess. Meth, I hope my kid's not taking meth. I'd love to know. But then once you start going down that road, they're not, 8 out of 10 times it doesn't wind up helping you. It winds up being used against your kids in 800 terrible ways. So no, I'm pretty clear. The STD test, fine. Drug test, opposed. Right.
And again, you should definitely talk to your kids before it even gets to that point, so they know that they shouldn't be taking drugs.
Of course. Look, if anything, as a parent, my guess is that I'm going to be an over-talker.
Yeah, you definitely are. There's no...
Like, I don't understand the parents that don't talk to their kids, like, endlessly. Like, to me, like, I'm already nervous. I'm already starting to talk to them.
You have a son, though. I'm really curious how you would feel if you had a daughter. Because when it comes to
daughters... Then I'm going to talk to her, like, 10 times more.
I doubt it. You're not
really?
You're not going to want to sit down with your daughter and talk to her about the birds and the bees and explain to her all of the different issues. Like, it's going to be uncomfortable. It was definitely uncomfortable for my dad, and that's why he never did it.
No. I get you. Look, I meant about drugs and everything else, but about the birds and the bees, no, it's an easy conversation. There's a certain part of your body that's a no-no, that no one should ever go anywhere near.
Right.
End of conversation.
Oh, that's great advice. I'm sure she'll listen.
End of this. Okay? What do you think? Did I do all right?
Well, my dad was highly effective.
Okay. I'm sorry that I'm quoting Louis C.K. too much now, but I've been watching his show, right? He said at 7, his dad sat him down, and he asked him about hey, what does sex mean? He's like, first of all, it's not sex, it's making love. Okay, and then he has a super creepy conversation with him, and he's like, this is how you make love. You put it in a little bit, and then you hold. The kid's like 7, he's like, what? And then he goes through like a half-an-hour explanation of how you're supposed to do it. It's like painful. And then at the end, she explodes. And the kid's like, why does she explode? Anyway, so I wouldn't overshare like that.
You know, I was listening to Dr. Drew the other night, and he was saying that teenagers should be told that their first time is not going to be the best experience of their lives. Like, it'll be an unforgettable experience, but they're always misled into believing that, like, the first time you have sex is the best time.
Totally. And it's funny, I didn't realize that anybody actually believed that. Yeah. Because I'm a logical guy. I'm like, why would the first time be, like, different than anything else? An orgasm's an orgasm. It's going to be a good one, whatever, right? But it's not like I expect, like, one sick did, oh my God. You know, it's okay, I got it, right? But I talked to somebody who was a teenager, and then the first time, and this was a while back, and he was like, I was expecting rainbows and giraffes or something,
Yeah,
and then
like unicorns and stuff.
giraffes, randomly giraffes show up. Like, how you doing? Right? And he's like, no, it turned out it was like, another orgasm. I got it. I was like, of course.